Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for round two of the off-season championship here in BMRL. My name is Josh Hockenlau, and I'll be your host tonight. And somehow it's me on my own. But we're gonna see here now. We're getting into a one-shot qualifying, and we're getting straight into the action. And currently, and what leads away, going down into turn one. We're here at Bahrain for round two. Season 6 of Tier 1 and Season 2 of Tier 2 will be starting later on in this year. But as for now, we have this off-season championship, and we've got some interesting mix of drivers between Tier 1 drivers, Tier 2 drivers, and even some newbies and some fresh faces around. So as it stands, Dark Jr. is the one that leads us away from everybody else. As usual, from what we can see from him in the past, he has shown supreme pace compared to his rivals, and it is no surprise that he is currently leading the way and possibly maybe the favourite for pole position. As we now see Cam joining as well, we're waiting on one more driver apart from him. We'll see if Sin Icon can get in on time. But yes, Dark Jr. leads us away still as he makes his way through turn 12, I believe. And he's keeping it nice and tidy through that section, getting apex to apex, not scrubbing off any speed. And it's looking like a very supreme lap from the Red Bull driver so far. House and Ella exchanging, jockeying for position behind. And just behind that, although we've got the McLaren of Squinners in, he's made his way up into P2. He might be in a very strong position now if he can keep this together towards the line. And I think he will. Dark Jr. sets a stunking lap over a second ahead of his nearest rival. Taze Rosen is out of the session. But Squinners, House, Ella, and Matty 102 round out the top 5. And it was some lap from Dark Jr. there. Incredible. So anyways, our grid rundown. Dark Jr. takes pole by just over 9/10 of a second. Skins comes home in P2, House P3, Ella P4, Mighty 102 P5, Molyneux P6, Official J P7, Yashinito P8, MWAT P9, Optic JS20 P10, Moore Island in P11, and JP Hughes and Taze Frozen round out the final places of the grid. Incredible lap from Dark Jr. there. Incredible pace. I wasn't expecting something like that. I was expecting him to be ahead, but not by a second compared to the drivers behind. And P2, P3, and P4 are very close, so they might provide some entertaining racing on the grid or throughout the race. I am struggling to find words. How are you doing, Braden? I see you in chat. Help me. But anyways, we will make our way towards the race. And it's going to be an interesting one already. It's a bit weird, having a one-shot qualifying, not, straight into the action before you can even think about it. But now we will straight into the proper action because we will very soon see the drivers line up on the grid to make their starts for this race. We can see actually Sin Icon's garage is there, so I think he's managed to get in before the race starts. So I think we will see Sin Icon here, who will likely be starting from the back of the grid. And yeah, anyways, we'll see the lights go on, the revs rise, and the engines scream. And it is lights out and away we go. Dark gets away well from Squinners. And it's still him in P1. Although he's alongside now Squinners and his... Oh god, I can't control my screen. No, they go side by side into turn 1. House having some... Ella having some issues through turn 1. She keeps ahead in P4. Squinners goes off the track. And look at House because he's trying to make his way into P2. He's done so, getting ahead of the McLaren driver. He's going to try and fight it, but it's not enough. And House is up into P2 and right on the back of Dark Jr. Can confirm Sin Icon is here in this lobby. And he has already made his way up into P11 straight away. Yasunito dropping a position, I believe, into P8. Moore Island is making some trying to defend from BRL Frozen. He has lost the position to him and is now in P10. Optic JS20 just behind of this big pack. We've got a lock up in front, and that's Official JE getting alongside of Molyneux, and he's trying his best to make a move down into the next corner, but I just don't think he has the straight line speed or the confidence on the braking, or does he? Because he's going to go down the inside, and it's going to be very close between the two drivers. I think Official JE has got it because Molyneux's gone wide, and he's hit the wall, and he may be out here. He's kept it going. I don't know if we have any front wing damage from him, but we'll see later on how it develops. I think he's okay. We'll see if his front wing is alright as well. We'll have a look, and it seems to be okay, but we can't see the full extent of his damage. Anyways, we've got Official J and Matty 1 of 2 going wheel to wheel. Sin Icon getting ahead of Morale. He's dropped all the way down. He's had a spin, and that's not going to help his case. There's Optic JS20 getting overtaken by JPUs. And it's Calamity, as we can now see up ahead. Official JE and Official JE and Mighty 1 or 2 and Yasunito all going wheel to wheel. Look at BRL Frozen getting down the inside, going through turn 2. There's going to be a drag race between the two drivers, and they make their way down to turn 4. BRL Frozen is trying to go around the outside of Mighty 1 of 2. He's keeping it. He's got it. Maybe we'll see. He doesn't get. Oh, he does get ahead of the Alpine driver. Jesus Christ. Anyways, BMRL Frozen making his way forward. He's nearly gotten into the back of Yasunito there. It's been so close between them. He's going to see if he can get a better exit and make a move down into turn 9. It's going to be very close, a very tricky braking zone. Easy to lock up the front left tyre, and he's kept it clean. There's a lock up ahead of Official JE, but he's just lost a bit on the exit there, and he's not going to be making a move that we thought he may earlier on in the stages of that corner. But anyways, this pack is going to be an interesting one as we move forward through this Grand Prix. And yeah. So, as it stands, Dark Jr. leads us the grid away in P1. House keeping it very close behind, just over a sec. He's just dropped out of the DRS range. We'll see if he gets the DRS deployment coming out of this final section. Oh god. Dark sets the fastest lap of this race. Let me just get some of these settings. We've got DRS enabled now as we go on to lap 3. So I wasn't even paying attention. And yeah, we've got a 3-second penalty for Sin Icon already. That's incredible driving from him. He's a great driver, really. Except he's not. Anyways, House still within a second of Dark Jr. Skinner's trying to stay behind and trying to keep in the DRS range of the drivers in front, but it's struggling a little bit. JP Hughes and Molyneux are going side by side, and Molyneux's gotten ahead of JP Hughes, having a great recovery, and now he's going to look towards the back of Moore Island and see if he can make a move down in toward the last stages of this lap. So now we can see Molyneux. We'll see what he can do going into turn 9. He's going to keep it very close to the back of him. He's gone a little bit wide, missed the apex, but it's going to help him because he's going to get a better exit than Moore Island, I believe. And look at the straight line speed comparison between the two, because Molyneux's already alongside and now ahead of the Alpha Tauri driver. But Moore Island's not giving it up. He's going to give this a good fight, going down the inside of Molyneux. Now switches to the outside. He's going to keep it, trying to keep it, but it's not enough, and Molyneux makes the move stick. Yasunito and Mighty 1 or 2 going at wheel to wheel. Mighty 1 or 2 gets ahead of the Mercedes driver, and now BRL Frozen might be under a bit of pressure because Mighty 1 or 2 has gotten a great exit using his battery, and he's already going to get to the left hand side of BRL Frozen, and they're going to have a drag race now as they make their way down towards turn 1. 2 into 1, does it go? We'll see between these two drivers. They're going to go side by side in turn 1 as they make their way towards turn 2. BRL Frozen just keeps ahead of Mighty 1 or 2, a better exit, better mid-apex speed compared to him. And now he's going to try and make a move on Official JE. He's just going to maybe try and sweep around the outside of the Williams driver. That's an incredible move from BRL Frozen. Wow. Jeez, man. It's incredible as we've got Official JE as well. Trying to just keep within the just keep within the 1 second of him as well to see if he can maybe make a move down towards turn 10 now. But very, very interesting race so far. We see Official J just playing with the brake pedal almost, and he's managed to get himself through the corner. And you may have an opportunity now to make a move on BRL Frozen if he can get a significant amount of his car ahead, but he's got a lot more battery to spare and to use, so we'll see if he uses it more strategically on the next lap. But anyways, the closest gap between them, closest gap on the track is this battle, and we've just seen Mighty 102 starting to drop away from the two drivers in front. It's crucial for him if he wants to defend from Yasunito, that he does stay within a second, and he's showing that because he's now using his battery down the back straight to try and get within a second. I don't think he's been able to do it by the detection zone, so he will not have DRS for lap 5 going on to lap 6. He's still deploying his battery, and I think the Fisher JE may also be trying to make a move. Squinners goes into P3 ahead of Ella, although Ella's trying to defend, Squinners trying to defend from Ella, and Ella is still trying to go for this. She's got less battery compared to Squinners, but she'll be trying her best to make some moves. House is already within half a second of Dark Jr., and the 1 second ahead in qualifying isn't necessarily translating into this race right now, as we've got a very close battle between the top two here. Yashinito gets a 3-second penalty, and that's not going to help him in his battle with Mighty 102, Fisher J, and BRL Frozen. Dark Jr. locks up going into turn 9, and Sin Icon will maybe be trying to get his way towards the back of Yashinito now as well. Anyways, as it stands, Yashinito the closest battle on track compared to his rival Mighty 102, who's just making his way through turn 14, I believe, and going into the back straight of this track. Yashinito just carrying a bit more speed through the corner, possibly showing he has a higher downforce setup, and now we'll see if he can try and do something on this next lap, making his way towards the final corner and on to lap 6. He's got a lot less battery than Mighty 102, just already under 10% of his battery. But is it going to be enough? I think the switch is going to help him out as well, and the aid of DRS is going to try and help him to get the overspeed, and it's just not enough. He backs off, possibly saving some fuel as well. Gets a better run through turn 1, and that might help him as well to get a better exit through turn 2, and it's going to be very close there because he's already alongside now and trying to get ahead of Mighty 102. They're going to go side by side as they make their way into turn 4. As now he's going to go around the outside. Mighty 102. This is going to be so tooth and nail between the two drivers, and he's just managed to stay ahead of the Mercedes man. Wow, great racing on show from the two drivers here. Now we can see that House has dropped out of 1 second of Dark Jr., and we've got a yellow flag from Mwat, who's had a little spin coming out of turn 4. Unfortunate for him, but it is what it is. You got to deal with it. Anyways, we're just going to look towards House, who's now gotten within a second again, so possibly having the better downforce to try, just catch through the corners and now lose out on the straight. But we'll see. He's got a lot more battery, so he's been a bit more strategic with it, and maybe we'll see him pounce later on through this race. Ella is also just about half a second behind her rival in Squinners, and she may also be trying to make a move on him as well. They're pretty equal in terms of battery. Ella having a little bit less, but she's not going to deploy it, so she's just going to try and save battery behind him and take that advantage. And Yashinito is still just about half a second behind Official JE, but now Mighty 102 is under supreme pressure from him. They're going to be alongside each other as they make their way down to turn 1. Sin Icon has already caught up to them now. They're going to go side by side. Mighty 102 trying to get the inside line through turn 2. They're going to barge and touch and squirrel around. And Yashinito is ahead, but look back because Mighty 102 has got the DRS now. Will try and go around the outside of the Mercedes driver. Sin Icon is well and truly in this fight, and he's trying to get alongside. Mighty 102 has a little bit of a snap on the rear end and just has to back out of the battle. Great move from Yashinito. Wow, anyways, we had a great race so far, but look at House, because he is already now within just about half a second. So once again, we're seeing him catching in the middle of Sector 2, and as they make their way towards Sector 3. This might now be the opportunity for House to make his way into P1. He's going to be smelling the blood, the Irish blood of Dark Jr. He's really close to him now, gaining a bit in the slipstream. And I think this may be the lap where we see House make a move on Doctor. We got yellow flag through sector 2. I believe that is the Haas of up to JS20, who's had a little bit of a spin. But now we're going to look to House, who must have had an issue because we got a safety car. That's what the issue is. So the yellow flag from Optic has just lost House's opportunity to make a move into P1. He was probably going to go for it if not for that safety car. It's Dark Junior, Braden. So we'll see who pits. I think we've got more Rowland coming into the pit lane. BRL Frozen's coming. Official JE has come in. Has Ella come in? She is. We'll have a look. So we've had Squinners, Ella, BRL Frozen, Official JE, pretty much everyone apart from MWatt and the two drivers who went past before the safety car came out. So I presume that we'll see them come into the pits as well. But this might enable Squinners and Ella to get ahead of Dark Junior and House onto the next lap, as they have gone around the entire track under safety car being just a bit of a pedestrian pace. So we'll see what happens with them two as they make their way out. Already Squinners and Ella are catching as they can push as hard as they want, and how Dark Junior and House are stuck behind the safety car. So this is really not working out well for them two. They came out, the safety car came out just at the almost worst moment for them two, as they just went right past the safety car. And now the gap between Skinners and House is already 6.8 seconds, and it's going down rapidly. This is not helping them two. And I think we might see the McLaren driver in P1 by the end of this lap. Apologies for my lack of energy. I'm a bit I'm a bit dead today, I can't lie, but it is what it is, I guess. And it's safety car, so life continues. Anyways, let's see if we can get some someone in there to yeah, okay. Right. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. We should be okay now, hopefully. So if I do that, and I do that, we should be good. And we've come in perfect timing because the safety car. Oh god. Give me a second. There we go. The safety car will be in at the end of this lap. So we have got Squinners and Ella and BRL Frozen as well. Dark and House down in P10 and P11. So they've had some serious issues with the safety car coming out at the worst of times. But it will be Squinners who leads us away from the rest on lap 9. He's going to go early, maybe. He's thinking about it. Will he go? When will he go? He's going to go later. Is he going to go early? Going to try and catch Ella napping, maybe. Can't see a thing from here, but it's a bit foggy. It might well be, but it'll be Squinnis. She's gone quite early compared to Ella, and Ella's been caught a bit napping. She's going to use that EOS to try and stay within, but BRL Frozen is now behind. I'm going to try and go around the outside of the breaker. He will get the better exit if the switchback goes on. Ella just having a bit of issues on the break, and BRL Frozen has now been chasing down the Ferrari and will probably be trying to make a move down into turn 4. Excuse me. They're going to go side by side into turn 4. BRL Frozen down the inside. It's a McLaren 1-2, ladies and gentlemen. And official JE is not going to let this go either, because she's going to get alongside Ella as they go into turn 5. And it's going to be side by side between the two drivers. This is beautiful racing from them. And Ella just manages to stay ahead of official JE. But it's not over yet, because they're going to make their way down towards turn 9. And maybe we'll see a move from official JE. But he hasn't had the best of exits, so that's not going to help him in his battle. Poor 4P4. I can't say words today. Wow. Anyways, BRL Frozen is just about 1.5 seconds behind Squinners. He is absolutely run away with the lead so far. Dark Jr. already into P6 ahead of Sen Icon, his Red Bull teammate. Sen Icon, not exactly the most talented of drivers, but you know, he's got to make it work. But it is what it is. Anyways, BRL Frozen frees 1.6 seconds behind Squinners, and Ella is now half a second behind BRL Frozen, so he may be a bit under pressure as they make their way onto lap 11. BRL Frozen using his battery, saving his battery a bit better than Ella, as she's had to defend from official JE, but Ella doesn't care about saving battery because she's going to try and make a move on BRL Frozen by deploying Dark Jr. already into P5, making that soft tyre advantage work to full effect, and he's going to try and make his way down towards into P5 as Sin Icon and Yasunito and Moni are going to go wheel to wheel with each other. So close on the exit there of turn 3 compared to Sin Icon and Molyneux, and Molyneux won't be happy with that. He'll try and go down the inside into turn 4. He's going to go late on the brakes, going to sweep down the inside. Sin Icon trying to defend around the outside. He just hasn't got the grip compared to, I think, with the hard tyres compared to the mediums. And Molyneux is not going to let this go. Sin Icon isn't letting this go either. They're going to go keep on going side by side with each other as they make their way down towards turn 8. Now look at House, because he's down the inside on the soft compound tyres. Sin Icon's all over the shop on the exit, and he has now lost the position. He's down into P8 now, all of it in a flash. He's gone from P5, I believe, or P6, sorry, to P8. Jesus. Anyways, House also trying to emulate his rival in Dark Junior to try and get further up the grid and get make advantage of his soft compound tyres. But it doesn't seem to be working for him so far as compared to Dark Jr., who's already on the back of Ella and basically pushing her through these final few corners. And also, BRL Frozen is now caught up and is within 2/10 of his McLaren teammate in the Squinners. This is going to be a very interesting lap because we might see some moves left, right, and centre. We got the two wide. We got two cars, two, and two. We got them two wide going now as we now see BRL Frozen getting alongside and now ahead of Squinners. Dark Jr. is ahead of Ella into turn 1. And now, all of a sudden, we've had moves left, right, and centre. And look at Dark Jr. because he's going to try and make the move into P2 to try and break this McLaren 1-2. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, again. This is very tougher than you think to commentate on your own. I'm not doing this ever again in my life. Anyways, Dark Jr. just about 2/10 behind, and this pack of 4 you're going to have a very interesting battle as this race goes on, I presume. BR Frozen shows him great pace so far, even faster than his McLaren teammate on the hard compound tyres, and we were not expecting this going into this race. Why can't you? Oh, shut up, Brayden. Shut up. This is by choice, mate. Or is it by choice? Have I been like kidnapped and held at gunpoint to make myself commentate? Who knows? But who knows what's going to happen on this next straight into lap 12. On lap 12, going into lap 13. Dark Jr. having a very, very scary moment as he made his way into turn 13, trying to get as close as possible behind Squinners and just had a bit of issues on the braking. But anyways, he'll be trying his best again to make advantage of the soft compound tyres. He has to make his moves as quickly as possible because his softs will not last much longer. But Squinners is trying to make his time in P2 not last any longer as well, because he's going to try and make a move into P1, and he's done so, and he's already ahead as they go into turn 1. Has BRF Frozen let him through to try and get the advantage, as we can now see Enwa and Optic JS20 going side wheel to wheel, but will look ahead to BRL Frozen, who cannot get ahead of Squinner, so he has lost his position in P1. MWatt has managed to get ahead of Optic JS20, but will he be able to have the advantage as he makes his way through turn 3? He's got a great exit compared to him. He's now going to be possibly alongside. He's going to basically push it through. There's so much overspeed compared to the Aston Martin driver. And Optic JS20 is now in P1 going into turn 4. He's hit the ball at an awkward angle. And now Emma will have the advantage on the exit. And he's got the switch back on him. And now he's back ahead of Optic. He's going to try to go around the outside. There's going to be contact between the two. Optic goes off the track. He might have to get that back, as we've got possibly a virtual safety car or a safety car. Because they're going very slow. I didn't. I'm technically now back as an admin, but it's not relevant. Anyway, we're racing. I don't know what happened to Optic and MWatt. This is why they are slowed down. But BRL Frozen, these two are just gonna go sideways, back and forth between the two, lap by lap, because it's just gonna keep on going. We've got BRL Frozen now 3/10 behind his teammate, and it's just a tactic between the two of them to try and get ahead of each other, just trying to defend from the drivers behind. Because now we can see BRL Frozen getting ahead, but look at Dark Jr. He's gotten ahead of Squinners as well. Gonna go down the inside into turn 1, and he's gone straight on. He's kept it together, and there's gonna be big and maybe some controversy in the chat still after this race, because Dark Jr. has had a big amount of contact with the McLaren drivers. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but Ella's not going to be complaining too much because she's gotten into P3, and maybe now, with the other drivers noticing some damage from that big incident, Dark Jr. just staying behind of Ella. And yeah, wow, that was an interesting moment we've seen. And these four are the gift that just does not it does not stop giving. And the racing that they've given us and the action has been supreme so far. Anyways, House is trying his best to get ahead of official JE to try and get towards that front pack that are giving us all the action so far in this race. Morale is going to be right behind Mighty 102, basically pushing him through turn 10, and he's going to go, I don't know where you're going, my friend. He's going on a holiday on the left-hand side of the track, in a bid to get ahead of official JE, and he has done so as they make their way through turn 11. And yeah, Morale is ahead and in P9. It's great for a man of his standards. It's a great drive so far. Anyways, I should not even be looking away from this front pack, because once again we may see some moves here. The gap between them is not as big as it was on the last lap, and I think maybe it may not be a move that we see so far. Dark Jr. just kind of backed off a little bit compared to them, and we got House and Official J going side by side, and now House is ahead and into P5 and only 1.6 seconds behind this front pack. So maybe with less battling as compared to Dark, Ella, Squinners and BRL Frozen, he might have a tire advantage compared to them as he tries to make his way forward and towards the front pack. Anyways, we got Mighty 102 and More Island getting done over. But he's going to go for the switchback, and that just shows a man of his talent, because he is just driven into the back of him. And he just doesn't know how to drive a car, clearly, because he's just like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go for a switchback, except I just drive into the back of a car. Anyways, we've got Dark Jr. again, 8/10 behind. And look at Squinners and Ella as well. They're so close between each other. And we've also got a bit of a battle behind between Molyneux and JP Hughes. Molyneux is going to pick, yeah, it's still on. I can't speak, Braden. I'm losing my shit. I can't lie. But we've got Molyneux trying to lose his shit, going down the inside of JP Hughes, and that was nearly contact between the two of them as they made their way into turn 11. That was so close between them. And yeah, we've got Ella as well now, 3/10 behind Squinners as they make their way through turn 15, and now onto the start-finish straight as they make their way onto lap 17. And I think we may not see a move on this. That Ella's not deploying a battery. Well, why don't I race and show my? Yeah, I would race, except I'm not going to survive on a controller. And here is More Island coming into the pits for after 8 laps on mediums. He's decided to come into the pits. This guy is a generational talent in terms of IQ. Like, I don't understand how he does it. And I think we now see him more around in his natural habitat, second last, and maybe last by the time they go into turn one. We're going to go side by side between the two of them. I think Optic just 20 going to try and sweep around the outside, more around on the cold tyres. Optic just staying behind. And yeah, more around in P13. Great drive from him so far. Anyways, House is now almost within a second of Dark Jr. And it's a big pack we can see. And it's going to be an interesting race as we go later on. Even Sin Icon is within this, you know, it's becoming one big pack now. And I think BRL Frozen has realised that he needs to get away because he's got a bunch of people chasing him down. And Ella now is within 3/10 of Squinners. And without the advantage of DRS, will Squinners be under some proper pressure compared to Ella as they make their way onto lap 17? Squinners will get the DRS. I think BRL Frozen just backs off to let his teammate have the DRS. But it may not be enough because Ella's already just about a 10th behind and can smell the fumes of that McLaren. And they're now going to try and go side by side. Official JE, well, House has gone into the pits off the soft compound tyres. But we're going to look between Ella and Squinners, who has not made Ella has not made a move on him. I think the DRS from BRL Frozen has helped supremely. But Ella is already getting a great exit. But it's not enough. And she will stay just behind Squinners in P4, in P3. But look at the grip she has on the inside there, getting the inside line. I might try and get ahead, but has not been able to. And we're going to possibly see the likes of Doc Jr. pitting very soon. That is the lowest point I've hit in my life. What have I just done? Anyways, we still got this great battle on track. BMRL Frozen again, just trying to edge away from the drivers behind. Yashinito getting ahead of Mighty Winner 2. Sanaikon as well, just about half a second behind Official J, who's dropped away from the pack as House came into the pits. He was dragging him along. We got a yellow flag. And that is Optic JS20 again, having some issues. And it's a similar place on the track as well as he makes his way down towards turn 9 and turn 10. And we've got Ella, who's ahead of Squinners. And we see it's been coming for a long while. And I think Squinners will just try and stay behind, maybe get a switchback on Ella to try and make a move down towards turn 4. Dark Jr. has gone off the track, and that's Sen Icon as well. Sorry, Sen Icon gone off the track. Dark Jr. came into the pits. Official JE has just hit. Sen Icon just hit Official JE, and Squinners has not been able to get ahead of Ella. What on earth is happening between Sen Icon and Squinners there? Because Sen Icon and Official JE, I don't know what Sen Icon was playing out there. Yeah, why would I have to mute, mate? It's perfectly normal in a stream. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, just bear with me a second while I have to sort this out. Right, we've got Mighty 1 or 2 and Yashinito exchanging positions in turn turn 11, and yeah, Yashinito will be trying to get some revenge down in towards lap 19. Official J is right behind Sin Icon and will maybe trying to make a move on the start finish straight. As you can see up ahead, Squinners, I believe, is coming into the pits. Yes, he is, after medium complement time, already after just 11 laps, which seems a bit short. But we'll see anyways, as we've got Mighty 1 or 2, not even using the battery, but Snicon's got nothing, and it's going to be a goose chase. I don't know what I'm saying, as they make their way through turn 1, into turn 2, and turn 3. BMRL Frozen is out of the session. That is huge, ladies and gentlemen. What's happened to him there? We have no idea. What's happened? He just got off the track somewhere, and he's out. Wow. That'll be a safety car, and that's not going to help the likes of Squinners, who's just come into the pits with the soft compound tyres. Ella will be so happy, and Dark Jr. and Squinners have made contact on the safety car, and that's gotten Squinners a 5-second penalty. This is all unravelled here. Wow. Right, just bear with me a good second while I try and sort this out. Rightio, we are joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Sin Icon. Sin Icon, can you hear me, mate? We can't hear you on stream, apparently. No, I'll see if I can fix that. There we go. And yes, there we go. That should be working fine now, as we've just seen pretty much everybody come into the pits. We've got Squidders with a drive-through penalty for speeding on the safety car, and he's out of the race.
Ooh.
So that's unravelled very quickly. All of a sudden, we've got Dark Jr. in P2, Ella in P1 on fresh mediums, and Sin Icon, you are the first of the medium compound runners.
Soft compound.
Yeah, you know what I'm on about, mate. And yeah, will you be fighting forward? We'll be trying to go for P1 at the end of this lap. In the final 10 laps of this race, is what I'm trying to say.
No, I will not get P1, nor P2. I feel like these guys are just a little bit too quick for my boots. But official JE, he's had a bit of slip-ups. We've had a bit of a collision, which was my fault earlier on in the race. And I feel like I can get past him on the softs compared to his mediums he's gone for. And so hopefully I can make quick work of him and get that podium that I'm looking for.
Well, I think you are the first. Yeah, you definitely are the first of the soft runners. And I think in terms of pure pace, you might be maybe the fastest of the soft runners. But you do have that 3-second penalty. Are you concerned about that?
I am very concerned about that. I've also got 2 other warnings, so I could be close to a 6-second, which is not what I want. But of course, my 3-second came from at the start when I was just fucking up everything. Like, excuse my French, by the way. And my last 2 warnings were just my fault. Yeah.
Well, that has been Sin Icon, who is, I remind you once again, the first of the soft compound runners, and possibly the man to watch in the last stages of this race. Thank you very much for your time, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Right, and that was Sin Icon, and a great driver. A bit past his best, but he's making quite a decent comeback, and yeah, I will honestly, I predict him to win this race from this point. I think the softs will help him out, and I don't think they'll fall off in the amount of time that's left. We're waiting really for 2 drivers in the back. Moore Island is 25 seconds behind, so I think we've got a long while before we can see him at the back. So I think we have the safety car maybe for another lap, or it might be in at the end of this lap. I would presume at the end of this lap, but we'll look ahead to see what's going to happen. Official JE, who we've not really talked about, is in P3. So a very, very interesting position for him. Obviously, he's had many a podium here in BMRL Tier 2, and a nice guy as well, I have to say. But will he be not so much a nice guy and get his elbows out on track and maybe try and get into P1 himself? Looking behind, Mighty 1 or 2 looks like a bit of in no man's land in P6. The only man on the mediums in that pack is a bit like that black man, all the black men and that girl. Just, crowd around. He's just a Mighty 1 or 2 on his own on the mediums, and he might be in trouble later on in this race. But Optic is had a bit of an interesting race, is what I'm going to say. Had his struggles, but he seems to have gotten going, and he's kept going. So we'll see what happens for him. I think the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. We'll have a look as we make our way into sector 3. And safety car is not in, so we're going to have another lap of safety car. And that only helps the soft compound runners. So, we got more fog, more probably dust if anything, as we are here in slap bang in the Middle East. And so, yeah, the pack is fully bunched up, so I can guarantee the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. And it's going to be an interesting one, I think. We've got possibly the perfect time for a safety car, so we've got a bit of a sprint to the end of the race. A lot of people on soft compound tyres, and it's going to be a very interesting one, I have to say. Right, we're just going to wait as we keep on board with official JE. And now Dark Jr. of course got pole by just under a second of a lap, and hasn't seemed to show the same pace in the race. Maybe just the other drivers having a bit more confidence in the race pace, or possibly just Dark getting a very good lap and the others getting a bit of a mediocre lap. But it cannot be overstated that this guy had an incredible qualifying, and I think he may also be one of the favourites to win the race after this. I think Ella will not make it easy, but Dark Jr. will try his best to dispatch the Ferrari driver. But once again, I'm telling you, watch out for Sir Icon, of course, the first of of soft runners. And yes, I can guarantee Morale is definitely moving up in the world. P10, incredible showing from him. I mean, we've never seen anything like that before. He's improving. He's improving slowly. You know, he's becoming less washed. And we've got House and M jockeying around for position. But safety car, I can confirm, will be in at the end of the lap. So Ella will lead us away. And I need water because my mouth is dry as fuck. Yeah, but we'll wait for Ella. And I'm not going to burp this time, I promise. So we wait on Ella to see what she will do. And we wait and we wait and we wait. And she has now gone. And I think Doc Jr. has pretty much got her all checked out. And he will now be trying to make a move into turn 1. He's going to be alongside now. We're going to go down the inside of Ella into turn 1. Doc Jr. into P1 on lap 23. House as well trying to make a move on Matty 102. They're going to go side. You're going to go around the outside of House. He might have gone off track. They might need to give it back. But he's going to try and make his way into P7 in towards turn 4. He's going to back out of it, maybe seeing better off. And he's Mighty 102 has made a mistake going into turn 4, and that's allowed House to get ahead and into P7 on lap 23. Dark Jr., of course, getting into P1 by as he makes his way down in towards turn 8, sorry, and now into turn 9. Ella will not be happy about that. Her lead lasted all of half a lap, half a straight, as Dark Jr. is now into P1. Sin Icon 3/10 behind official JE. I think next lap might be his opportunity, although Ella and Dark are pulling away quite rapidly, already a second ahead of official JE. So Sin Icon needs to dispatch official JE right now. So they're pretty equal on battery, but official J is already deployed. Sin Icon, don't deploy your battery. You've got the advantage on tyres. You can get a better exit. Yashinito is nowhere to be seen behind, already a second behind. Sin Icon, just not using much of the track either, but he'll try and make a move now on official J. Official J is not going to want to give this podium up, that's for sure. Anyways, we've got behind you Sin Icon and Mighty 102 the closest battle. You can see the advantage he has on tyres under braking, but it's just not enough Sin Icon is going to try to get ahead of official JE. But it's just so close, but just not enough. So close, but so far for Sin Icon. More Ireland is in P4. Sorry, P8. Molyneux and the Ashanito are going side by side. These Mercedes drivers are not going to give up the fight. There's no team on. It's down to Mercedes, clearly, because they are trying their best to get ahead of one each other. One of them. Oh, God. Anyways, House is still in P7, and somehow more Ireland is behind him. This is heavily unusual. I don't know how this guy's in P8. He must be hacking because he isn't talented enough for this. But anyways, Sin Icon is within 3/10 of official JE, and official JE using his battery well against him, pretty equal on battery as it has been on the lap before. He's got a bit wide though, and that's going to allow Sin Icon to maybe get a switchback move. He's going to try and go down the inside towards turn 13. In towards turn 14. He's got a bad exit now. Official J, he's got a penalty, and that's going to put him on level pegging with Sin Icon now. So this is 4th position. Sin Icon moves into P3. Is that a bad move though? Because he is now going to have a DRS disadvantage compared to Official J. Official J will get DRS on this ladder. No, he won't, because it's that's horrible knowledge from me there. But Sin Icon is ahead, and now will try his best to get close and try and get ahead. Look at the Mercedes drivers again. They're going to go side by side. Look at House as well now as they go nearly 3 wide into turn 3. If Molyneux comes out on top, Yashinito is not going to give it up though. And House is not going to give it up either, because House is now alongside. He's going to try and go around the outside of Molyneux into turn 4. Side by side they go. 2 into 1 does not go, because Molyneux has stayed ahead and stays in P5. More Ireland somehow in P7. Although Mighty 1 and 2 is struggling on the top, and JP Hughes is down and out. That is Yasunito, who has completely gone off the track as he makes his way down towards turn 6. Out of turn 6. And all of a sudden, he has found himself at the back of the pack. Right. Anyways, Ella, 4/10 behind Dark Jr., so she's not going to give this fight up either. She's got 2 lap fresher tyres compared to him. Sin Icon, 1.4 seconds behind. Pulling away from official J.E. Hughes, 0.8 seconds behind. Can he get close? Excuse me. See the drivers ahead. Optic JS20 has had another spin, and it's just not been his night so far. You got to feel for him. Excuse me. Anyways, Ella, half a second behind the Red Bull driver of Dark Jr., and he's got a lot of overspeed compared to her, and House is going to get ahead of Molyneux and now finds himself in P5 on lap 26. Yashinito is retired from the session, possibly in the pit lane. Well, I don't think so. We've got the safety car deployed, and Optic JS20 has come into the pits and is also retired from the session. It's just not been his night, and unfortunate for him. That's what I have to say. So somehow, More Ireland finds himself in P7. This is highly unusual, and this might not be the best of situations for Ella, and certainly not for Sin Icon and official JE, because that 3-second penalty will be calamitous for them. As now we've got the safety car bunching them up. We will have a 2-lap shootout at the end of this race, I believe. I believe the safety car should come in for at the end of lap 27, I should think. So we won't have a long safety car period, and that's just not going to help the likes of Sin Icon and official JE to try and pull away from the people behind who are battling. But with their 3-second penalties, I believe this might be the beginning of the end for them. Shit. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, and don't smash any on the table and expect nothing to happen. That was certainly painful. Anyways, yeah, Braden, Matt being P8 is a bit of a glitch in the system, I have to say. Doesn't seem normal. As we got Ella faking to come into the pits, and Sin Icon nearly followed her in, but no one fell for the bait. Molyneux has come in onto some, I presume, new soft compound tyres. JP Hughes, who was at the back, who doesn't lose much either, has come in to the pits off the soft compound tyres. So Molyneux on fresh softs will be. I think it might be a decent move from him. It might be a good decision from him there. And will we see him make some great moves in the last stages of this race, in the last 2 laps, really? Moore Island, the scumbag he is, the terrorist, who's just overtaken, might want to 200 safety car. And I think, oh no, he hasn't. Fuck. He's still a terrorist anyway. But, anyways, this is going to be, I believe, safety car in at the end of this lap. So Molyneux and JP Hughes have got to get a move on if they want. Who knows if I can say that on Twitch, Braden? There are a lot of things I say that don't exactly run on Twitch. But, what are they going to do? Sue me? Yeah. Dickheads. Nah, if you want Twitch, ban me, yeah? This is going to end badly if you actually get banned. So, wasn't my fault, it was Braden's fault if we get banned. I say what I want. Anyways, Dark Jr. will lead us away from the safety car on lap 27 going on to lap 28. Shut up, Braden. Anyways, this is going to be a 2-lap shootout between these 2 drivers. Safety car will be in at the end of the lap, as I presumed. And Ella has 2 laps to try and get into P1 compared to Doc Jr. Doc Jr. has been the favourite so far. Sinaikan will not be happy about the safety car because he's gonna have a bit of a miracle drive to try and get into any position higher than P4 or 5. He's probably relying on some incidents behind to try and stay in a decent position due to his 3-second penalty. The same applies for official JA, but now we will see Doc Jr. make a safety car restart. I don't know if you've seen that so far in this race. We've seen from Ella, we've seen from, or maybe from Doc Jr., who caught Ella napping, I believe, as well. Sorry. No, Squinners. My fault. Anyways, we'll see Doc Jr. again as we see the beautiful dust around. And Doc Jr. has gone fairly early, and Ella has stayed right behind him. And will now try her best to get ahead of Doc Jr. She has not done so, but official JE is maybe going down the inside of Sin Icon. He's just clouting over the curb zone. That's not going to help him. We've got yellow flags through sector 1 as M-Watt is down and out and now is way behind on out of turn 3. And he's also got a 5-second penalty for his woes. Moore Island battling along with House, trying his best to get ahead, but is not able to do so. Official JE and Selicon, you guys need to absolutely run. But let me tell you, Doc Jr., you need to run as well, my friend, because Ella is right on the back of you, and she'll be eyeing up a move. Molyneux gets ahead of Moore Island, already into P6 on the fresh soft compound tyres. He as well needs to get a move on if he wants to make that advantage work. Moore Island is just showing his talent here, and struggling supremely. Anyways, Molyneux again getting ahead, so he's making up some great moves as he goes into turn 11, and he can go side by side with House. Our House is not giving it up. They're going to go side by side. Molyneux round the outside of House in turn 12, or 13, and that's a great move from the Mercedes driver. We've got yellow flags again. M1, I believe, is had the yellow flags for, but Molyneux is already in P5 with a whole lap to go. Let's make our way onto the final lap. Ella is 3/10 behind Dark Jr. and we may see him move into turn 1. There's no DRS, so it's just pure straight line speed. They're going to go side by side now as they make their way down to turn 1. Ella around the outside, Dark down the inside. They're going to go side by side. Dark stays ahead. Ella trying to get a better exit compared to him, gets a switchback kind of move. And now Ella is right behind Dark Jr. Once again, they're going to go side by side with each other. Ella pulls down to the right hand side. Now switches to the left hand side. They're going to go side by side again as they make their way down to turn 4. Dark stays ahead. That's great defending from the Red Bull driver, and it might not be over because Ella's trying to try and switch to the inside as they're going to make their way down together, and it's going to be so close between the two drivers, and Ella is trying her best. She's trying everything as she goes down the inside now. No, she doesn't. She backs out. She thinks better of it, and maybe we'll try and make a move out of turn 10 to try and make a move down into turn 11. And maybe we'll see Ella going down the inside at turn 9. Maybe into turn 10. They're going to both lock up. And this is so close. Doc off the track. This is last lap. Battling at its best. And Doc Jr.'s got a 3-second time penalty. That might be it for him. But we'll see if he gets it removed after the race. This is incredible racing. Doc around the outside again as they go through turn 11 into turn 12. Doc has had to let it go. But I wouldn't say it's over yet because he is still significantly behind Sorry, we're very close behind. So now we'll be trying to use a slipstream to stay and maybe make a move into turn 14. And it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Maloney has found his way into P3 through all that carnage and might find himself in P2 by the end if Dark Jr.'s penalty stands. And this has been an incredible race. Dark Jr. has been trying his best, but Ella has seen it to the line and she has finished P1 here in Bahrain. Penalty or not, she wins the race. Melanie finds himself in P2. Dark Jr. in P3 after an incredible qualify, an incredible race, but just lost out on the final lap. Sin Icon will nowhere near the podium. Braden, he was nowhere near. But Melanie, fairly deserved driver of the day after some incredible moves. The strategy call to come in with just two laps of racing to make moves from, I believe, P9 all the way into P3. So that's incredible. Ella wins the race though. Certainly against the odds, considering Jock Jr.'s qualifying lap. And yeah, a great drive from her. Ferrari will certainly be happy about that one, I can say that for sure. Anyways, this is the rundown for the race. Ella finishes the race in P1. Maloney finds himself in P2. Dark Jr. drops down to P3 after an incredible qualifying lap. Alright, well, this is a glitch in the system. More round in P4. I don't know, he's probably bribed someone or thrown some death threats at everyone's families to try and get himself into P4. Might win a 2, P5, House P6, Said Icon P7 after a 3-second penalty. Official JE in the same boat with the 3-second penalty in P8. JPQ is P9. M Watts P10, and then we have the non-finishers Optic JS20, Yashinito, and Skinners and BRF Rosen, who had some very good pace early on in the race, but just could not convert, unfortunately. Anyways, we'll see if you can get anyone in for interviews, because why not? But yeah, great race. Yeah, certainly an entertaining one, that's for sure. Ella winning the race and some great drives from the likes of Molyneux and a few others. Dark Jr. obviously had an incredible qualifying lap, but I think the driver of the day has to go to Molyneux after the great strategy call and as well his storm through the grid with just 2 laps to go. And we'll see if we can get some of the drivers in for interviews. See who's available. If anything, we could have anybody, and it's just a bit of a social thing. But if you don't hear from anyone, I think we just go as it is. I think we got Molyneux in here, so that's a start. Alright, I think that'll be it then. I don't think we're going to have anybody else. So, Molyneux, are you there, my friend? Congratulations, mate. You got P2. And that was certainly an entertaining one from my end. What was it like for you, mate? Yeah, I think certainly that strategy call got you that podium because it was so close between so many of the drivers. It was so equal on pace and tyre. I think the tyre really helped you to get into that position. Were you possibly doubting yourself or thinking you made a bad move by the time you came out? You were in, I think, P9, I believe. Yeah, and it most certainly paid off. Anyways, as we I want to actually talk about your move into getting to P3. I completely missed it as I was shouting over Dark and Ella going side by side on the final lap. But do you want to take us through what happened? Fair enough then. A great race from you, and congratulations on the P2 finish. Alright, we move on to our man who finished in P3. An incredible qualifying lap from him, but unfortunately he just couldn't convert in the race. Dark Jr., how you feeling, mate? Yeah, it was certainly an entertaining final lap between you and Ella. Were you first off the track into getting that 3 second penalty that possibly might have lost you P2? Oh, yeah. Unfortunate for you, but fortunate for us watching at home because that was about as entertaining as a final lap as we were expecting or ever going to expect. It was certainly a great final lap, and they can't hear you, so I've just been yapping nonsense, and they can't hear you. Right, okay. Well, that was Doctor. I've still got one more question for him, but yeah, going wheel to wheel with Ella. We've seen it so often in the some of the races in season 5 of Tay One. You're going to be going wheel to wheel with Ella in season 6. Is it possible? Are you going to be expecting a battle, maybe a championship battle with Ella? And what are your opinions of her?
Maybe. Well, she's a very quick driver, but hopefully, I prefer to be further up the road, cruising. But fun battles, expecting
Yeah, well, I can
tough,
certainly
tough
say you were
battle.
cruising in qualifying because you were a second ahead of the people behind. Was that a good lap for you, or did you have even more pace in the car?
I would say that I had more pace in the car. I wasn't that happy with the setup in the race, though, so maybe that's what helped quali, but I don't know.
Well, there you go. That's a scary precedent set by Dark Junior here. He got pulled by a second, pretty much, and you heard it here first because he has got maybe more pace in the car. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure commentating for you tonight. Join us again next week for who knows what track here in the BMRL off-season championship, and get yourselves ready because December 17th, Tier 1 Season 6 will take off in Bahrain here again, and set the date in your calendars because it's going to be a great one. Anyways, my name has been Josh Ockenland. I've been commentating for you tonight. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, take care, everybody. Bye bye.